don't you take care of that and you can be our engineer for the.
I will take care of that.
All right, good evening, Litchfield. Welcome to the meeting of the Recreation Commission for Tuesday, March 26, 2024. We will call the meeting to order. My name is Peter Ames. I'm chair of the commission. Andy Ruggles, vice chair.
Here.
Chris Burns, member.
Present.
Jeff Town, member.
Present.
And welcoming back Steve Gannon as select board rep.
Present.
All right, to start, I'll ask you to rise and for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And just coming off membership, I do want to welcome back Steve Gannon, who served as for a number of years, including most recently as chair before he joined the select board, but is now back in that capacity. So we are glad to have you back, Steve.
I'm glad to be back and not in that capacity.
Well, you've been going a year. Hopefully we didn't screw it up too bad for you. So.
No, I think you've been doing an awesome job, Peter.
Excellent. Well, we thank you for your commitment to rec and joining us again. All right, first item of business is the approval of the March 12th minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion or recommended edits?
Did not see me.
I didn't see any either.
I think you ought to strike the part about the garden.
I call for a vote on that. You're not going to win. All right. Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Staying.
Motion carries 302. Thank you. All right, we will now open the meeting for public input and welcome any members of the public to come up and speak. Just share your name and address.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Please.
You just gotta sit there. It's not like, your chairs. I'm Ronald Blaine, 15 Riverview Circle, and I guess my official title is President of the Litchfield Pickleball Association.
And I'm Ruth Ellen Whitney, 33 Pilgrim Drive, and I'm a member of the Pickleball Association,
The board.
the board.
Yeah, and I had want to have Ruth Ellen come tonight as well. If you remember, Cheryl Lang had been our representative from the board to the commission. She went off this past session, and Ruth Allen's taken over that responsibility. So if anything's needed, either Ruth Allen or I will be the first people that try to respond to anything you need or any questions or anything. So I wanted to make sure she was here tonight. And then I just wanted to, I don't think I've been here, Peter, when you've been here yet, formally. So I just wanted to come and give some comments about where we are and some of the things that are happening and some questions and comments. First thing I want to do is just give you some interesting information is we actually have Linda LaSalle and Lucille Gingras hosted for the Pickleball Association AED training classes, CPR and AED. We have nearly 30 people that went through that. And first of all, I want to, just again publicly thank Linda and Lucille for doing that, and also it that's a lot of people. So I just want to note that we did that. I know that they would be willing to do others if there's other sessions that somebody wants to consider. Might other folks that might get rolled into that. We might even do another session ourselves because every time we put one out, it got filled up. So we still have a fair amount of members. We did, as part of that, get familiar with the AED that's actually in there. And we didn't use it. What was interesting is she actually had a training AED instrument that she borrows from Dartmouth, I think it is, as well as a training. What, did you do it?
I didn't.
You didn't do it yet? Okay.
No.
I think it's Alice. They call it Alice.
Oh, the little
And there's-
training dummy.
Yeah, yeah. And mannequin, I guess you'd call it. And it really was for me particularly, and others, an interesting session. And if nothing else, it took kind of the fear about what is that thing that's in there that is potentially, life-saving. So anyway, if there's anybody that would like, if you'd like to maybe have Linda do some others, we can maybe coordinate that, so. But it's been well-received by us, and it's actually nice to know there's that many people. One thing that it does raise is maybe there needs to be an AED on some of the other facilities around, just so I throw that out. I don't know what they cost, I haven't looked them up. Maybe we could contribute that if there's some further consideration of that. Continuing on, I think I had communicated with Chris about putting the nets up at the courts of Sawmill on April 1st. Plan to do that unless we get a big snowstorm or something, and, so we'll get the sawmill opened up. Do you have a status, Chris, of where the floor and stuff is for the, okay, not yet,
Not yet.
okay.
I'm planning on meeting the highway department down there at some point.
Okay.
It's on their schedule right now.
Okay, cool, yeah, that sounds good. And you mentioned to me benches. It really would be nice to get some benches. We, at your request, we aren't having people bring portable chairs to set up inside. So, if anybody brings a chair, we're having to set up outside, but it's nowhere near as convenient. So I think you're working on that as well, which.
Yeah, and if Judy was here, she could probably speak to it better than I could.
Oh, that's right. I think that's right. You told
I
me.
know that the beautification committee had talked about that early on, so I'm not sure where that stands yet, but she'd probably be the point person on that.
Great. Well, it's kind of fun. We're opening up April 1st. If you remember last year, we didn't get starting till mid-June, so it'd be fun to have a whole season this year. Just an update, we are now up to 40% of LPA is residents. When we started a year ago, we were 27%. So we're, moving that up the ladder. We still let non-residents join just to play at Sawmill, but at Talent Hall, that's restricted to residents only because of our space. But we're actually, I think, seeing because a lot of the non-residents go play other places that around, we still have a fairly high number of Litchfield people that are using the Sawmill as well as Talent Hall, so that's where we are with that. One thing I mentioned in an email to Chris is if there's any consideration, there's a whole bunch of soft spots or dead spots in the floor at Talent Hall. I know there's been talk about trying to do something, but I imagine one of the things is just get an inspection underneath. I'm not sure if it's been done. But if that's something you would consider, we would maybe be able to help fund that if you need to have somebody hired to do that. I would actually think, just having played on it so much, that if the underneath was good, the subfloor, many of those dead spots we may be able to take care of with just some epoxy, and grouting, and some of those boards, and doing that. But I wouldn't want to do that unless you knew underneath was solid and you weren't making things worse, so to speak, by putting epoxy on top of it. But we'd be happy to, help with that, if that's need be. And then the other thing, Peter, I don't think you were here when we talked the last time. We traditionally have been given a donation to the town each year. And with the commission's concurrence, we recommended, and I think you folks approved, that we're going to hold those donations unless there's something specific along the way, some of the things we talked about, with the idea of helping to contribute a major portion to the resurfacing of the Sawmill Park when it needs to be sometime in the 5 to 7. So that's just so you know that we're doing that, and we'll continue, the boards approve that, and that's being done.
Thank you.
Good.
Just so you know,
Yes.
Judy Brennan just chimed in.
Oh,
She watches them, all the meetings. So she said the beautification fund has $500 to chip in towards benches.
okay.
So
Some of the benches, I'm sure, are more than $500, you know. I looked at just Home Depot, some of those. I'm
I
not
have
sure
no
what they're
idea.
doing. But if they're, Judy, we can help you with some more, how's that? So, that's certainly a priority out there, for people coming off the games and sitting down, so.
We obviously want to get a bench that's gonna last and be low
Yes.
maintenance and that kind of stuff,
I
so
can,
if it's more money, we'd rather spend it up front, I think, than,
No,
you
you're,
know.
yeah,
We can take that on to do some research and see what we can find for benches and bring it to the committee at the next meeting.
Does the school still have like the wood shops? Remember for years, they used to let the kids build picnic tables.
I don't
Wonder if
know
we
the
can
answer
get the
to that.
school involved.
Yeah, they did the benches along Albuquerque too. I don't know the answer to that, but I can do a little
Run with it.
research.
Thank you for offering.
Yep.
And last but not least, Andrew, well, I happened to, when I saw your name, I remember me. The Places to Play is a site that lists pickleball places. And the listing on there now is kind of screwed up. But remember, it's under your name. Did
Yeah.
you have any chance to go in and see if you could,
I could try.
yeah.
I didn't set that up, so I don't know how it became.
I don't know about it
You weren't
either.
here one day.
I wasn't here that. I must not have been here that meeting.
The only reason it is it's got a password in it or something like that, so it looks like you're the one, so you might be able to do forgot my password and get in there. If you want to just set it up, I don't mind taking that over if you can get it.
Yeah. Do you have my email? Can you just shoot me the website? Because I tried to find it one time and I couldn't figure out
Yeah.
which website it was actually.
Is it the usapickleball.org?
No, it's places, the number 2, play.
Yep, on the USA Pickleball.
Oh, could be
site.
under that, yeah, okay, but but the site, I think, the website itself comes up as places to play.
Places2play.org.
Yeah, right, that's it. So I'd like to get that kind of, it reflects the old, just using the tennis courts information on there. So I'd like to get that corrected. So what's yours?
It's.
Or can you find it, or?
I just found it. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right, okay. So if you can do that, just let me know, and I'll be happy to go in and update it if you'd like,
Okay.
so. Anything from us in
Well,
addition?
well, thank you for all those updates and for your continued support on all those items. Much appreciated for sure.
Yeah,
So one thing on the AED, we actually did chat about that briefly at our last meeting about perhaps using fire rescue or police to help do some training around AED. So Judy was running with that. So we will connect her to, it's Linda, you said?
yeah, Linda LaSalle, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because that would be great to know about some trainers in town.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She did a great job. Lucille helped her out, so the two of them, so our classes were targeted to around 10.
Yep.
That way everybody gets a chance to work on the mannequin and save Alice. And it really was very informative. So,
I believe that AED is a year old, and I think fire was going to inspect it annually as well to make sure that the batteries and
Yeah.
what have you is
oh,
up to date.
yeah. One thing we found, when we were looking at it, is there's actually, when you go there next time, the case actually has a little plastic window in the upper right-hand corner. And the way it was put into, and that window is supposed to be for the indicator light. It flashes just like kind of a smoke alarm. So you couldn't see it before, so now you just can go in there and look at it and wait 20 seconds or something, see a green light and see it flashing, but I didn't know that till we get out and play with it and all that stuff. Okay, good.
While we have you here, can I ask your opinion on something that we've
Sure.
been struggling with?
Oh, go
So
ahead.
we currently do not have the Sawmill pickleball courts as a reservable space. So we have the 4 dedicated to LPA.
Yep.
And 2 that are maintained open, right?
Yep.
So, but we've gotten requests, we expect we're gonna get more as time goes by.
Yeah.
Because they're a desired asset and a lot of folks wanna use them.
Sure.
and folks jump in if I'm mischaracterizing this, but I think where we landed was at this time, we thought it'd be best to direct people to join the LPA if they want to reserve the
Yep.
space. And that we are not inclined to make anything more reservable at this time.
Okay,
So it being, it's just the first year of the courts. We feel you all are managing them very well. We've not heard of problems of residents who aren't members being unable to get on.
Sure.
So we could always revisit that, but that's kind of where we are right now. And that if there was, like another pickleball group in town or something like that, then we'd want to look at that again. But for right now, that's where we're going to steer folks is to
good, okay.
LPA. Is that fair to reflection?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe I think the one understanding was that if somebody did come forward with the request, that we would obviously check with you first to make sure it's okay, before making any approvals or anything like that, because you folks have priority to the courts 1 through 4.
Yep.
So, we wouldn't obviously make that
Yeah,
decision.
on that point, if you like my thoughts on it, there is certainly, I think, a rationale for people, a special group. And I think it needs to have some level of resonance that are asking the question. And to come in and reserve for a special function. And I think that's appropriate. And with enough notice, I don't have any problem with us, considering that and giving a block of time
Okay.
toward that. I think that's only reasonable. In fact, I would like to do it for some folks that I know, rather than take it, we can invite guests as part of LPA, but the way we set it up, we can't block off time for groups of our own people. There was fellow, I think probably the one you talked about, had an event, and I told him, I said, well, exactly what I just described. If there's some of you folks that are residents and you want to join that, then you can bring guests, and I'm sure we can accommodate it that way, kind of like you're suggesting. But specifically, if you have, in the future, somebody comes in with a particular block of time, just give us a shout and we'll talk through when it makes sense to offer that. I think it's only fair to make that.
Very good.
I mean, as it happens, we have one on the docket tonight,
Yes, we do.
so your timing is impeccable.
We could discuss that first, when we go to the field, if you wouldn't mind sticking around.
No, I'd be happy to.
See if it's something, I'd rather your input, because we're all
Yep.
kind of like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we could do that. Great. Other questions for our guests? All right. None, thank you for the updates.
So, well, actually, I can take on researching the costs for the floor inspection at Town Hall as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, and we can figure out pricing for AEDs too down at the court, see what those come out to.
Yeah. And again, we can help contribute to that depending, particular costs and stuff. Like I said, our intent is to keep accumulating funds, but if there's things like we just talked about come up, then certainly, as we have opportunity, we'll be happy to participate in specific things along the way.
Several years ago, when I bought one of those, it was somewhere between $800 and $1,000.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, I was thinking they're more than that. Okay, well, that's not bad at all.
It might be more now, that was just
Well, but even if they're
5 or 6 years
2,000, I
ago,
mean, that's
but
still,
it's in that ballpark.
okay. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to have at Sawmill, and that would, cover the whole soccer field too, Not a
It's
bad
just
thing
where
to
you
have.
could put it without it getting tampered with.
It is, when you put it outside, there is the risk of it getting misused.
That's the thing with talent, you don't really have any unsupervised,
Yeah.
that would be my fear.
The one thing that you potentially could do is, remember we have those 2 lock boxes up there? So we could keep it in there and give the code out to the second box to everybody that uses it. So one of the things could be, this was an event that gets opened and, and somebody gets the AD or it gets the box is open and it becomes available quickly. And then when, an event is done, lock the box back up, secure it that way.
Yep.
Just as a thought.
That makes sense.
I don't know if there's codes around that, being a life safety.
Well, that's the thing.
device.
It'd be
Yeah, whether it be locked up
Well,
like that. I don't know how that works.
having it available a fraction of the time is better than zero,
Yeah.
right?
You would think.
Logically, but that doesn't mean.
until you
the
need
codes
it
are
and it's locked
logical.
up.
Town hall is locked up
Understood.
some of the time, so
It's a good question for fire rescue. They
Yeah.
could probably guide us on that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to talk about that one request?
Yeah, we might as well.
We can move right into
Since
that.
you're here, yeah.
Yep, so we'll close public input then, and we'll jump to facility and field requests. Before we do, I neglected just to note our absent members tonight, Judy Brennan and Mike Bosky, were both absent with notice. All right, so moving into facility requests, we do have one for the pickleball courts. This is a one-time event request on May 4th from 11 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon for 4 courts. And this is from Freedom Point Church, less than 50% Litchfield makeup for this, but it's a fellowship event where they're looking to grill some food, have some cornhole during that time.
Is May 4th a weekend day, I assume?
I believe so, yeah.
It's Saturday. Yeah,
Saturday.
Saturday.
At what time, 11 to what?
11 to 3.
Is that a local church?
So I believe they're out of Londonderry. But some of the parishioners, I guess, are Litchfield residents.
That's what it was like.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember the fellow's name, because he did contact me.
Matt Trapiano.
Matt, okay, yeah. And he and about 3 others are Litchfield residents, as I recall.
Out of the 20 or so participants, I think that's what they were looking for.
Yeah, 20 plus. Yep.
So, here's a case where if you wanted to, we give up 2 of our courts and they could use the other 2 public ones for that time period. Does that make sense?
Well, the 2 that are not dedicated to LPA, we've kind of said always open.
Always, okay.
Yeah, so we've not gone down that path of looking to make those reservable.
Well, he's saying they'd give up 2, they have 4 courts, so they'd give up 2 to allow the other 2 to be reserved by this group for that day, for that period.
Understood, but we kind of, as a commission, agreed that we would never make those
Those
reservable.
open.
No, I'm saying 2 of the courts that they have reserved already,
Understood, yeah.
not the residents ones.
Oh, but they wanted 4 courts, I believe.
Right, I think that, if I understand you correctly, you're trying to come up with a compromise, correct?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. My suggestion was 2 of our courts and then the 2 open ones
Okay.
they use. But if you don't want to do that,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not kind of every weekend type of request, this is fine. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, so the issue that I would see with
We'll give up our 4.
allowing them to use the 2 public courts is then we open ourselves up to that anytime somebody wants to request it. We kind of
Yeah,
set a precedent and our hands would be tied.
and I'm kind of the feeling that if we open this up to be reservable at all, even with pickleball support, we're going to get a flood of them. And
Yeah.
then it's going to be, well, you let these people do it in May, but we want to do a weekend in June. Well, why can't we do it? You know what I'm saying? I just don't want.
That's true.
I just don't want to open a can of worms that, you know.
Well,
Yeah, there's a lot of churches and fellowships in
Yeah,
town.
I mean, in
Yeah,
all
you're
sorts
right.
of different groups, family reunion, or like whatever. Like
well,
it's a
one-
slippery slope, I think.
okay. Well, that's actually a good point, Andrew. I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, pretty soon. One thing to maybe then is going back to what we started with, is if they're residents and join LPA, then we can talk through about how to do it under the auspice of our scheduling.
Yes.
I
How
think
about that? Is that, you have, does that make it a little better?
I think that would be far
I
more
think that's
appropriate.
fair.
Okay, we'd be happy to take that on.
And you're assuming also that these people have their own equipment, right?
Yes.
They must have their own. balls and rackets or.
Yeah, I think
I would assume so. The other advantage of going that route is then it takes the insurance issue off the table. 'cause
that was gonna be my other issue with it, is, yeah, the insurance, cause,
And if they are members of LPA, then they're covered, including their guests.
Correct.
So that kind of comes back full circle. Okay, I like that idea.
It'll work for
We
Ron,
wouldn't,
but other than
the
that.
downside is we wouldn't charge a fee
Okay.
for that, or upside for them, I guess, we wouldn't charge the fee.
Right.
Because they'd be part of the league.
That's correct.
Yeah, and they have to pay,
They have to pay your fee. Yep.
membership fees.
Right, yeah.
Okay, that kind of takes care of all that then, yeah, okay. It's actually a good solution. I appreciate your thought on that.
oh, no problem.
So do we wanna, would it just be like a one-person join and everybody, or would you require like one person per court type thing? I don't know how that.
I'll talk with him, where he's got 24 people coming. He said he had 3 or 4 Litchfield residents. If it's, somewhere in that order, then I'm somewhat comfortable with that. We can sign up other people. We have a guest policy,
Yep.
and we got to figure out a way to,
Does does your association have a cap on the number of members?
no.
Like, no, not
At
yet.
this point, no. Let me back up. I'm sorry. We are, I think, go back to what I said, we are only allowing Litchfield residents to join the group that plays indoors at Town Hall.
Town hall.
Currently, because we have a larger number of courts, that, 2 things happen, is, the number of people is limited because there's only the 2 courts. And now we have 4 for outdoors. In addition to that, many of our players go to play other places in the summer. So we're really trying to get, this is gonna be a good year to kind of start to see and work specifically on the membership for outdoor. If you can, does that make sense? It's kind of a different demographic. It's not everybody that's in the indoor plays in the outdoor. We actually have Sawmill-only memberships now. Some residents and some non-residents in that, just because of, they're gone for the winter, so they don't want to play inside, but they do want to play outside. So we're working on trying to balance that membership and foster that membership, targeting Sawmill. In fact, if you go on the website, I just put up a notice, the courts are coming up April 1st. Let's play outside, get everybody excited, hopefully. And links to the membership notice, as a for instance. So we'll keep you posted on how that goes. I think you do have, though, if you go on the website, our website, you can click on the sign up for both Talent Hall and Litchfield. You can see them, but you can't sign up for anything. So if anybody wants to keep an eye on that, see how things are going.
All right, so it sounds like we have a plan for this particular request. Do we have, someone want to make a motion on this request, just to put it to bed?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to, I guess, reject the application barring they join the, or, I don't know, would it be, accept the application
Just refer
pending
'em.
they join pickleball? I guess they're already reserved, so they wouldn't need to accept it.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Yeah.
Kind of going back to you said, so just say you rejected the application with the understanding Litchfield Pickleball will seek to accommodate special requests for people that join LPA.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. So I'll make a motion to reject the application, and we'll direct them to the LPA
All right,
for membership and court reservation through them.
I'll second.
we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, we have 5-0-0.
Is there anything else I forgot?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Thank you for coming in.
Great.
Discussion, appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice
Ms.
to
Allen,
meet you all.
if I could get your contact information,
Sure.
I know I worked closely with,
I'll send you
Perfect.
an email, you and Judy with those on it.
Perfect,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
And just let me know, Andrew, if you get that. squared
Yeah,
away.
I tried to just create an account right now so I could go in and, so you have to create an account to do it, I guess, and that's what it's making me do.
Well, what I suggest, sorry, just go in and look at the Litchfield one, and it shows your name.
I did, I put my username and password and it says no user available, so somebody else put me in there.
Okay.
I blame
I'm gonna
Judy.
guess it was Gannon.
I blame Judy.
Good night, folks. Just keep putting all your passwords in. Check them in a minute.
All right, so we'll move on with other requests. We have one for Talent Hall, for a Eagle Scout ceremony. The Boy Scouts, I did not see this form. Can folks direct me to when that was sent?
It was a while ago.
It was like the day after our last meeting, so, the 13th.
Oh, got it now. Thank you. All right, so this is Boy Scout Troop 424 out of Merrimack for a ceremony on May 4th for Town Hall from 4 in the afternoon till 8 in the evening. Let me check our calendar. Town Hall is open on the 4th currently. So the troop does have Boy Scouts from Litchfield
Yep.
involved. So Jeff, is this a group you work with? Is this under your?
Yeah, not closely, but yes.
Yeah.
So I guess my question with it was, is this like a private, like, family event, or is this like a scouts event? You
No,
know what I'm
it's a-
saying? Is it
yeah.
like almost like a birthday party
No.
sort of deal, or just because we have put restrictions on birthday parties, I just want to make sure it wasn't like the retirement party sort of deal, rather than an actual scout event.
Yeah, it's a scout event.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. All right, do we have a motion on this request?
I'll make a motion to approve the request as noted.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion?
It's free that.
It is free.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
It is open. We just need to check on the COI.
They fall under a nonprofit status, so no fee required.
I don't think so.
Correct.
All right, is there further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries 5-0. All right. Let me then move next to the Litchfield Girls Softball League and Blast. We got two requests, one for,
You skipped over one.
yeah, we're just gonna go.
You're just going.
No,
I'm going that.
I didn't print the forms. Somebody gave me the forms. I just put it in. So
Okay.
I didn't like scan them in.
Okay.
I can
I'm just
go-
saying in order of the agenda, you skipped over the
I may be skipping, yep. We go to the Bobcats next.
It's fine. It doesn't either way. So for the agenda, it's
The Bobcats, yep.
yeah, it's this
I
one.
didn't think I had that printed out.
No, I didn't.
No, not on you, I printed it before I came.
Oh, got it.
All right, what was the date of that one sent?
This Saturday.
No, like, when was the form sent?
They sent it to just me.
Oh, just, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, this is the Bobcat, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you. All right, so the request is for. I'm getting all mixed up. All right, for Bissett Fields, for the Bobcats, this Saturday, from 9 till 7.
And understood that, you know, there is the Easter egg hunt. The reason why they wanted 9 a.m. is basically to get the fields ready. The
Gotcha.
games wouldn't start until, I think the first game's at 11, if approved. And even if, I don't even know that the field will be ready to play, to be honest, because it's been wet.
That's, yeah, that's no question. So, well, let's see, we make a motion?
Oh, I'll make a motion. Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Bobcats to use the minor and major fields at the Justin Bissett Memorial Complex on Saturday. I don't know the date. May was that
4th. I'm sorry, no. May-
March 30th from
April 30th.
March 30th.
April. 4:30?
Oh, it should be 3:30. That was my mistake.
Okay.
3:30 from 9 a.m. till 7 p.m.
All right, we have a motion, is a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion and a second. So discussion, so yeah, there is, Spirit of Litchfield Easter event, which only talents did we approve, and Roy. Otherwise, they did have interest in using some of the parking lots, so that's why we didn't reserve anything else for them. So the time does have a conflict there. I did reach out to Spirit of Litchfield and say, you know, were you intending to use those lots or not? So, there may not be a conflict on that.
Okay.
So we'll see what they say.
And honestly, the parking lot won't be full until like afternoon.
Yeah, okay.
Are the fields, have you been down there recently? Are they?
Yeah, that's
I was out there today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, last week they were dusty. And because I dragged them, and I'm starting to get ready for the season. And this week, there's a little bit of snow at home plate on the minors field. The majors field is completely fine. Now we're supposed to get another inch of rain Thursday. And pending approval, I was going to make the final call Friday afternoon. Because if it's dangerous or, you know, muddy, we're not gonna do it.
Okay.
So, and the only reason that they want to play here is because their fields are underwater. So, it was like, well, let me check out Litchfield and maybe we can accommodate.
And do they know about the fee policy?
They do.
Okay,
They do. We actually approved the Memorial Day tournament,
gotcha, same one.
and they're fine with the fees. And they're gonna bring in their own supplies, lime and all that stuff, and
Very good. All right, so one potential small conflict that sounds like it's manageable.
Yeah.
In any case, you have the final call in the field for safety and if it's ready to be used.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
any further questions or discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstain,
Abstain.
motion carries 4-0-1. All right, now we'll move to blast requests, of which we have 2. Take,
Just one follow-up question on that, Peter. As far as payment, just town of Litchfield.
Kim Planner will create an invoice for them.
Okay.
So we'll have something to send them. So she's gonna, handle that process for all of our fees
Okay.
going forward. So,
Okay.
no action required by them at this point.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Litchfield Blast is requesting, the fields at Roy on May 17th through the 19th, from 7 in the morning to 8 in the evening for a tournament. All right, let me see what we got on the calendar. So that Friday, CHS softball has their approved request in the afternoon from 3 till 8. But so does Litchfield Girls Softball League, which takes precedent, so the groups are working together. There's a number of those conflicts. LRBL has talent, but not the fields. So yeah, so on the Friday, the daytime is open. There's a conflict in the afternoon, which we already knew about, but the league already has time reserved. On Saturday, the league also has time from 8 to 2 already reserved, and then again, it's softball in the evening only right now. So we would be, cutting into that a bit, but there need to be some coordination
Right.
on that piece.
Yep.
And then on the Sunday, it's probably the same. We do have Plex softball in the afternoon on Sunday at Roy.
Yep, I'll work with both of them, CHS and Plex.
Okay. So if you're good by that. All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve blast to use Roy Memorial Park on the requested dates.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstain.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0-1. And then the second blast request is again for the Roy Fields, July 12th through the 14th from 7 in the morning till 7 in the evening for a tournament.
Yep, so same type of thing. It's our second annual Summer Blast tournament now. Like the other one, there'll be anywhere from, we haven't opened up registration for it yet, but there'll be anywhere from, I think last year there were about 8 teams to, I think we can handle 12 at the most. So it's a Babe Ruth sanctioned tournament.
And looking at the calendar, the only conflict is Plex on the 14th from 2 to 5.
Same thing, I will coordinate with Marissa.
Right.
That's-
All right, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion. Oh, I'll make a motion to approve blast for the July 12th through 14th tournament.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? And all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstain,
Abstain.
and motion carries.
The last one's Litchfield baseball. I didn't fill out a form.
All right, do you want to speak to it then?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, it's just for the regular season for baseball, and similar to Litchfield softball, there may be some conflicts, but I'll work it out with the other teams that have requested the fields. I don't think there should be any issues, but if there are, I'll work them out. Basically, it's mid-April through, so April 15th through July 4th, I think I put, or something like that, and from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m.
And which fields you looking for?
Justin Set Memorial Field and Schaefer Field.
All right. So, okay. All right. So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept that request.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second, and let me just check for, just taking a glance a couple of weeks to see if there's any obvious conflicts. Schaefer, I don't think there's anything on it.
No.
And the setup looks like
Same.
pretty much the same.
Yeah, the only thing that's known is possibly the Silverbacks, but it sounds like they ended up getting some field time in Hudson as well, so we may not have as many conflicts as what we had thought. So
All right, yeah, they have,
they have Sundays.
yep.
Yeah, but we typically don't have games on Sundays anyway, so it'll be Monday through Saturday. I just reserved Sunday just in case there's a one-off.
Okay, sure.
But again, there's even if they had 2 games at the field, there's going to be time for another game.
Right.
So we get all day.
All right, so check with Silverbacks if there are any conflicts.
Yeah,
It sounds like there
yep,
aren't any.
yep.
Any questions or discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Right?
Yeah.
Oppose, abstain? All right, motion carries 5-0. Great. All right, and I do have one last minute addition, from Litchfield Soccer requesting sawmill. This is Brian Bork request, for sawmill in Innisfields from April 1st through June 30th, Monday through Friday, 4 to 9. So they will get in the form, but they wanted to check the time with us, so I said that I would put it forward pending the form request.
And I think they work everything out with lacrosse and Healthy Kids Running, and
Yeah, it's a known entity. It's a
Mike
known-
Mike is on that board and he knows all about it, so I think we're good. So I'll make a motion to approve that request.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, motion carries 5-0. All right. I think that covers requests. Did I miss any that folks saw elsewhere?
Not see any.
Okay. All right, moving on then to old business. So we now have the date for a hearing as our, regarding the fee policy, which will be the next meeting of the Rec Commission on Tuesday, April 9th at 7 o'clock here in the town offices. So as part of our regular scheduled meeting, we will have a public hearing on the fee policy for members of the public that wish to chime in regarding that draft policy. Thereafter, we'll be able to ratify, and then that's what will trigger our ability to create invoices.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Follow up to like the field starting to open up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there a scheduled date for porta potties to start coming in?
There is not. I just made a note to check with Kim about that, because I think we need to.
Okay.
But it sounds like the time is pretty much now. So
Yeah.
looks good with April 1st or whatever date is convenient for the
I
organization.
think that's sort of typically was.
Yeah, I think April 1st was
to,
usually
like
done.
November 14th or whatever it was.
Yep. Okay, so I'll work with Kim to
Oh, awesome.
get those back out there. All right. So I had for old business, any new business?
If pickleball is opening up the courts and putting the nets up on the first, we should probably do the same with the tennis courts around the same time.
That makes sense, sure.
Yeah, so I can find some available time and go down and do it. I think I've done it in the past, but I haven't been down and looked at the courts. I know typically we try and do a spring cleanup around there with the leaves and everything. I don't know what the situation is with the cracks and everything else in there, that you worked on last year, Jeff. But
Jeff filled them all in. There's no more there's no more cracks left.
so, I mean, I can at least go down and put the nets up and try and clean it up a little bit, maybe that weekend.
We can pitch in for that. If there's a time you want to aim for that's convenient for you, want to put out a call to us.
I can, yeah, I'll look at the calendar, figure it out.
Okay.
But, yeah, probably be this weekend at some point.
All right, yeah, just circulate in the email. Sometimes they're good for you, and
Yep.
a number of us, I'm sure, will be able to pitch in.
One thing I gotta bring up, I don't know the last time, and it's gonna be bad, that Talent Hall's septic was pumped. We may wanna check with Kim just about getting that pumped out.
It's probably
54?
Do we know where the septic is?
Yeah, it's,
It's right up front, isn't it?
yeah, it's right on the side, when you pull in that first entrance, yeah, that area to the right there is this,
yeah,
holding tank, and then I think the septic is
under the
right under
shed.
the ball field.
I mean, we could pump it right, because
Besides
Chris,
the
you were
shed.
gonna bring Phil in, right? We could pump it right on the field.
Economic use of town resources. Yeah.
Okay.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah.
All right, but I'll ask him about that. That's a good thought. Thank you. All right, other business. Members wish to bring forward? Seeing none. All right, otherwise, we'll just review upcoming email schedule. April starting next week. Chris, you're on it.
Yep.
Follow you up in May. And then we'll take a look at folks after that, those next 2 months. And we meet again on Tuesday, April 9th, again with the public hearing being part of that agenda. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you and good night.
That was a long agenda for 45 minutes. That's pretty good.